Good evening. Welcome to the May 19th Park and Rec Board meeting. Sally will start with a roll call.
Chairman Colmeyer?
Here.
Member Brush?
Here.
Member Douglas? Absent. Member Herman? Absent. Member McGuire?
Present.
Member Reimer?
Here.
Member Walker? Absent. Student member England?
Here.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We have two new members to the board tonight. I'd like to ask them to spend a few minutes telling us a little bit about themselves. Please, Shannon, would you start?
Sure. My name is Shannon McGuire, and I live in the 3rd Ward. My husband and I have lived in Lake Forest for about 9 years. We have 3 children and have enjoyed the rec programs for the past 9 years, and I'm excited to give back to the community. I have a strong passion for the environment, and I know that's an important thing in our town, and I'm also just very happy to be here and to serve and to work with all of you.
Thank you. Welcome. Colton?
I'm Colton England. I'm a junior at Lake Forest High School, and I was appointed to be on the Parks and Rec Board as a student advisor. And I'm just excited to give back to the community and learn some business ideals for the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome again. Next is the approval of the minutes from our April 21st meeting. Are there any comments or corrections to the minutes? No. If not, could I have a motion to approve them, please?
Make that motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Do we have any citizens that want to address the board? Okay. Next is a presentation on the city sustainability plan. Will be presented by Chuck Myers and Bridget Hardy. Chuck or whoever.
Good evening, Chairman and members of the board. I'm going to have Bridget come up in a moment. She can tell you more about the details of it, but I just want to let you know this is something that was part of our strategic plan for the city. We are about halfway through that, and the strategic plan basically says that we will create a sustainability plan. So we've been working toward that with the collaborative. The collaborative, I'm sure you're aware of that, the Lake Forest Collaborative for Environmental Leadership, and we decided that we needed some help with it. So I'm going to have Bridget come up and explain what we're going to do.
Hi everyone, I'm Bridget Hardy. I was hired as an intern by the city. I know Mr. Reimer. And I'm here to talk to you tonight about the sustainability survey that I'm putting out that's previous to our sustainability plan that should hopefully be finished by the end of the year. Yeah, works. So as you know, Lake Forest has a natural beauty and unique local ecosystem that's important that we protect. It attracts a lot of people to the town. It attracted our forefathers, and I think we should protect it in a sustainability plan. And it's important to do this because it helps to enhance property values and ensures that the community remains a highly desirable place to live, work, and play, which is the reasoning behind the creation of our sustainability plan. In addition, in the strategic plan that ranges from 2013 to 2018, it is listed under environmental stewardship goal to develop a Lake Forest sustainability plan to identify priorities and guide future initiatives. So the city is now acting on that goal and creating a sustainability plan. So a sustainability plan will be a city council approved document that improves the challenges and needs related to environment, economy, and society. It'll encourage behavioral changes that end up saving energy, water, city resources, and money, and ultimately it will clean up our environment and protect it. On the left up here are some sustainability ideas, general topics that I'm thinking will be included in the plan as chapters, and that can change as we go on. And some examples of actions that might be in the plan will be to provide a free kilowatt tool at the Lake Forest Library, and that's a device you plug into the wall and it shows you how much energy an appliance uses. To encourage community gardens or perhaps a program at the schools. I know the middle school is interested, the high school, Croya, so I'm in the process of working with them now. Or you can encourage rain gardens or rain barrels, and that's a picture there of a rain barrel that just collects water that would otherwise go into our sewer system. So I recently began drafting a plan to cover these major topics, and I'm releasing a sustainability survey with support from the Lake Forest Collaborative for Environmental Leadership, which is also called the Collaborative, or LFCEL, and that's a group which is comprised of representatives from the public schools, Lake Forest Open Lands, Lake Forest College, and the city, and it was brought together to bring together these professionals and the community to educate and engage in environmental action and to promote sustainable practices in Lake Forest. And their role is to combine the collective resources of their members to recognize and consider existing issues and to identify new programs and approaches that encourage environmental thinking and action. So all of their goals will be realized in the creation of a Lake Forest sustainability plan. So, and you can read more about these goals online at the city website at Environmental Initiatives, which you can find on the front page. So therefore, the city, with support from the collaborative, is releasing a Lake Forest Sustainability Survey. And the purpose of the survey is to gain insight into the opinions of Lake Forest residents on local environmental issues, and we'll use those insights as guidance in the creation of a Lake Forest Sustainability Plan. And an example of a question is up there: would you like to know more about how to make your home energy efficient, with those options? And as of 11 a.m. today, we had roughly 64% say yes to that question. And the difficulty in this survey is getting a large sample size, so that's why I'm here tonight for the most part to present to you this survey, because I can use your help in getting it out there. So this is the link to our online survey. It's pretty easy to remember at the end: LF Sustainability Survey. And our hope is that you're inspired to take the survey and give your true answers and comments in the end, and then to support our sustainability plan and to spread the survey within your networks and within the town. So it's open to Lake Forest and Lake Bluff residents, and we'll forward the Lake Bluff answers on to the village government. It'll be open until June 30th. I'll keep it open longer if we need to, but I think enough people will answer by then. And then in the fall, we hope to follow up with a community forum that the collaborative will host to bring some of these issues up to the residents to speak of. And that's all I have for now. So you can send questions to me directly at my email, or I'll take any. And thank you.
Any comments or questions from the board?
I did go online and take the survey, so I thought it was pretty interesting. It was obviously very, environmentally centric. And how can we help you get that out more? I mean, what are some of your ideas you have, other than our friends just forwarding it to people that we know? Are there some others? Are you going to the schools? Or you? I mean, what else would you like?
So I have it on the city website now. And I've reached out to, I think, 18 organizations that are helping me, from Gorton, Dickinson, all the schools in town, the college, and a lot of boards, the library board, Parks and Rec board, obviously. And I'm just asking people to email blast it, put it on their website, social media. So I've got it out there, but I feel like I'm still missing a lot. So if you have connections that you think you can get it to, like a soccer team, club, I'm thinking, anything you can think of where I might be missing, that'd be helpful.
Might put an invite right on the survey itself to say forward to so-and-so, or, you know.
Good, yeah.
I'm in AP Environmental Studies at the high school, so I could try to give it to like my class.
That'd be helpful.
Would that help?
Who's your teacher, Nawar, or?
Nawar, yes.
Okay. I haven't spoken to her, but I know Jim Sullivan's gonna help get it into the classrooms, but that would be really helpful.
Sally and I talked last week, and I noticed on the patch or one of the daily blurbs that comes out on the internet, there was a survey announcing the survey was on that this morning.
Okay, great.
The other suggestion I had would be to go to the schools before they dismiss here in the next week or two and see if you can get them to use their network to get it out to all the parents.
Sure. I think every private school agreed to email blast it to parents. Not every school could give it to students in class because it takes up time, but I've worked with some of the teachers and they're going to get it out. But yeah, I think getting it to the parents of students would be really helpful.
Well, I think they have a network to
Yeah.
notify
Okay,
people.
yeah.
That
Yeah. District 67
67.
gets, they send an email on a weekly basis, so
Yeah.
if it's not in there, I will tell you.
Okay, good, because it should be this week, so.
Okay.
Right.
Yes,
I'll look
please.
for it.
Any other comments? Thank you, Bridget.
Thanks.
Next is Chuck is going to talk about the citywide project update.
There we go. All right. I want to give you just a brief update on a few projects. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the city, and you're going to see a whole lot more with construction all over. This is focused more on projects that impact parks, forestry, and the Park and Rec Department as a whole. So the first one I was going to talk about is the Emerald Ash Borer. And you'll recall I came to you in January, and we had spent the money for FY15 on removals that we had, and we requested funding for that to keep things going. And at the time, we had 1,263 trees tagged. About 700 of those were going to be contracted out, and the remaining 500 we were going to do in-house with bringing in crews from Public Works, Parks, Forestry, the whole works. So I'm happy to say that we did achieve that goal. We did get all the trees that were contracted have been taken down, and all of the trees that our department and Public Works worked together on were all taken care of. So we then came back to you with the request for funding for the FY16, that's $190,000, and that was approved by City Council as well. So we now have a fresh pot of money, so to speak, and we are tagging trees. We have a person that we hired just in the summer. He's a certified arborist. He is out tagging trees. So we're building up the list, and as soon as we have enough in an area, we can then immediately go to our contractor and start contracting things out. So it was a great effort. Our guys did a great job. The contractors came through for us. The only thing that's left is some stumping. There's quite a few stumps throughout the city, but we feel a lot better having those hazard trees down. So that's the Emerald Ash Borer. South Park Woods, this is a smaller project, but I'll remind you that back in the fall, we had requested CIP funding for a few projects. One of them was at South Park to do some parking, the parking lot and the entrance road by the playground is in pretty bad condition. Unfortunately, we didn't get that funding. There was a lot of the funding was cut back this year to pay for other things. So we did want to pay some attention to South Park. So we did a couple of improvements along the edge of the parking area. We regraded, seeded, we took out a bunch of ash trees that were in the loop, things like that. We also took out some things around the buildings, cleaned it up, and replanted just a couple weeks ago. So we did some things that we could to improve the look out there temporarily. We also did a small clearing project this winter. This is a woodland restoration. So this is on the south end of the park. We've just started it. You can see in the background it's still thick. This isn't the isn't the easiest picture to see, but all of this was covered with buckthorn and ash and things like that. We stuck to just non-natives and ash removals. So we opened it up. There is a sign out there that says restoration in progress. We do plan to return to this and continue to clean the woods up. So we think it came out pretty nice, and we'll keep you posted on that. The third thing I wanted to mention is the beach boat ramp. This was something in the capital improvement program that was approved, and happy to say too that is up. It was put up just last week, finished up. I think actually just yesterday they did the final pieces on it. We're trying to get the beach ready, obviously, for the big weekend ahead. The guys are still working out there, but we're very happy that this was installed. So, as you recall, this was the old wooden dock. We have the other easy dock, it's called, but all the piers now match. It's a great improvement to the site. Everyone that's looked at it so far has asked, why didn't we do this sooner? It just made a lot of sense. So it went in nicely, and I think there's one other picture. It's got the rails along here, so we're pretty happy with the results on that. The next thing is the East Train Station parking lot, and there's actually 3 different projects going on at the East Train Station. One of them is the parking lot, one of them is the bike path, which I'll talk about next, and the third is actually the building has work that will start to happen this summer, tuck pointing and improvements to the exterior. So with the train station lot, the city decided that while this other project with the bike path was going on, it would be a good time to redo the parking lot. They did change the configuration because as you know, the bike path went through, so the middle island was not in alignment the way it should have been. So they tore it all out and did new curbs and everything. And in the middle of that, our crews came in and did the landscaping for it. So the landscaping is essentially done now. The parking lot was paved with the final lift just today. I think they were still working when I came in about an hour ago. So it's done, and it is scheduled to be reopened this Friday. So by the end of the day, the contractor will have everything wrapped up. The striping will happen on Thursday. There's a little bit of brickwork along the edge of the platform, and then that part will be done. People can come back and use it again. Landscaping, our crews, the parks crews, joined up with forestry, planted the trees. It's kind of a dark picture, but these beds they're loaded with plant material. This Friday as well, this fence will come down, so people will have full access again. So the second part of this project is the McClory Bike Path. This is the grant project that will allow people to get around the parking lot. It's a new path, 10-foot wide path. We've talked about it before, but it's a great improvement. I think people are really going to like having a space that they don't have to worry about cars backing into them. So grant that was successfully received last year. Construction began about a month ago when the parking lot did, but they focused on the parking lot to get that done first so commuters could park there again. So now they're going to quickly shift gears, and they're due to be completed with the project by June 22nd. So you're going to start seeing paving going on very soon, and the area adjacent to the train station, they still have grading. There is extensive landscaping that'll take place in that area too. Excuse me, you'll start to see that fairly soon as well. So finally, Forest Park. Forest Park, we've talked about many times. I'm sure I don't have to say a lot about that. And I am happy to say that we are very close to being done. As a matter of fact, this week is probably the last big week for a lot of the planting. The park will be essentially complete this week. So everything like the trail system, the grading, all of that kind of work is done. There's a little bit to do on the benches. This is the bench right off of the Belvedere area as you go into the center of the park. Sorry, I'm going to back that up. You can, this is the stonework in front of the Belvedere, a long bench. There's a water fountain on the back side of that. So you can still see they have the barricades there. It's not quite finished, but it's very close. The biggest task this week will be planting. There are still dozens of trees and shrubs that have to go in and thousands of perennial plants that will go in this week. Our primary contractor, the Forest Park Board's primary contractor, is Fiore. They are working long days this week, and they believe they can get all that work done. So as of this Friday, we're planning to open the park. We're going to take down the closed signs and everything, and people will be allowed in the park. We will have the South parking lot open as well. People can go in there and park. It won't be striped, but it'll be open for use. We will not open the ring road this weekend because there is still a final lift of asphalt. That's what will continue next week. Next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on the weather, our contractor will be out and they'll be paving all of it. So we were concerned, there is a lip of about 1.5 inches that's created. We're concerned with that. We don't want people to have, tripping hazard. So we're going to keep the ring road closed for that short period of time. Also with the paving next week, they will have to finish Lake Road, a section of Lake Road, and Spring Lane as well. So it's all being done at the same time. If you see pavers out there, you know you don't want to go anywhere near it. It's going to be very congested, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. So we're looking forward to the park. People are going to get a really nice look at it this weekend, and they'll be able to go out there and use the park. So final thing I'll say is there is the ribbon cutting. It's June 14th. Big celebration. You can imagine this will be a huge event for the community. There's lots of planning going on with the Forest Park Board. They have a great day planned. I believe it's from 3 to 5. It's a Sunday afternoon where everybody's going to celebrate the opening of the park. So one last thing I forgot to mention, the signage went up today. So this is overlooking the South Beach access road here to the beach. But there are 4 signs like that. They look very nice, and they're all up as well. Another just a pretty flower picture. There's lots of great views out there, believe me. It looks fantastic. So looking forward to having everyone go out and see it. Any questions?
Thank you, Chuck. Comments, questions? Thanks a lot.
Chuck, I got one question. What's the official transition date from Forest Park Board handing that all over to you guys?
They haven't actually set a date. They're going to keep going for a little while. They want to make sure that we have a smooth transition. So they are still fundraising. They are trying to raise money for an endowment for a maintenance fund. So we're looking forward to that. Of course, our department will appreciate that immensely. And maintenance will begin for us. There is a contract this year, though, with the Forest Park Board to take care of the beds out there. So all those many plantings out there, they will be taking care of them. Fiore will.
But that's just this year.
This year. Next year, it will be ours to take care of.
And what are you anticipating? Are you kind of assuming you're going to have to assume kind of that maintenance obligation
we will
this year,
have the
right?
obligation, I think. It's just a matter of will we receive extra funding to help us out, because obviously our staff isn't getting any bigger, and that will be a lot of work at that park. So we probably want to get contractual help as well.
I see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to get an update on the Vermont system and the RecTrack software installation. Terry and Joe Noble.
Hello, I'm Terry Lorela. I'm the office manager at the Recreation Center. Just giving you a quick update. We started a selection process. Our current software, which is called CLASS, was going to be obsolete within the next year. The company that created CLASS does have a software that we could go to, but we decided it was better to go out and see all the software that's out there and make sure that we're making a selection that's the best selection for us. So we hired a consultant, Plant Moran, who came in and helped us go through software specifications and lists of, we went through a very detailed list of software specifications and created our RFP from that, and then a list of prospective vendors that we sent it out to. In May of 2004, we selected Vermont Systems. Vermont Systems has a very robust platform, and it will be giving us a lot of new benefits. Among those, an updated site for our website. It'll be much better to look at. We have a lot more photographs, making it more engaging. It'll have a better search function, so people will be able to find our programs better online. We also will be able to start installment billing for our memberships and possibly for some of our other programs as we go along. Right now, if anyone wants a billing option for a membership, we actually have to physically send them a bill and then they send us payment. With new options on this system, we'll be able to automatically charge it when it comes due. It'll be more convenient for our users and save us a lot on paperwork and the timing to put the paperwork together. We'll have a lot more flexibility with our registration parameters. For instance, with our Dance Academy, we have a lot of requirements for a student to pass before they can go on to the next level. It's not as simple as just having taken Ballet 1 once, and then you can go to Ballet 2. And after a year's worth of using RecTrack, we'll be able to do that all online. Right now, very little of our Dance Academy registration can be done online because they have to come into the office to prove that they've passed what they need to pass. We'll also be able to have more things on our internet site. For instance, right now we cannot do memberships online at all. We'll be able to do renewals of memberships, and people will be able to purchase new memberships online. We'll be able to expand to other things. We may be taking pavilion rentals online in the future. We may be doing court reservations at our racquetball and squash courts online. All things that will make it much more convenient for our users. Our next steps. We're going to start reaching out to all of our households, the people that we currently have. We'll be sending out an email to any household that has done a program with us within the last 2 years. Asking them to verify all of their household information to make sure that we have the correct address, telephone numbers, we have correct birth dates. We don't want to take information that might be bad in our old system and put it into a new system. We want to make sure everything we're putting in is correct. We're going to ask them to reply to us, either to tell us that everything is okay in their account or that there are changes that need to be made. And we're asking them to, Joe, I don't remember the date. When are we asking them to reply by?
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the one date I didn't write down.
We would like their initial response by the end of the month. However, going live is the mid to late June, so we'll have the opportunity until the 15th of June to make sure everything's verified.
Thank you. As Joe said, we're going live. We have what we call a soft go live date with our dance registration because most of it need to be done in the office, so that will give us a chance to make sure that we've got everything right. Returning dance registrations will begin June 23rd through July 10th. And then our fall registration begins on July 29th for residents, and then the next week for non-residents. Are there any questions?
I have a question for you. The citizens that you're emailing, how are you kind of positioning it so they don't think it's spam? Are you putting anything on the website so that it's
yes,
transparent?
we have told people that we will be contacting them for this. We've put it in our constant contact emails. I don't know if it's currently on our website, but we certainly can do that. Also, it's going to be, when I send out the emails, I'm sending out a lot of them. So I have to send them out in small bunches, and then that way spam filters won't consider them spam, so it'll help with that way.
And then is Lake Bluff using this too, or?
Not Lake Bluff Park District is not using it. They have their own software, but we do have a lot of Lake Bluff people who use our system, and they will be getting the email also.
Okay, one more question. Is the possibility to register for golf going to be integrated, or is that still going to be separate?
Golf will still be separate because that's run by Kemper Systems, and so we have 2 totally separate systems on that.
Other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sally?
All right. Included in your packet was a memo requesting that you approve the appointment of the interim superintendent, Joe Mobile, as an alternate to the North Suburban Special Recreation Board of Directors, in case I should not be able to attend one of their board meetings. Currently, I'll give you a little bit of background on North Suburban Special Rec. They are our supporting agency for inclusion, for anybody who might need help within a class programming. They provide those aids to us. Because we are a contributing agency to the association, the executive director of Parks and Recreation for Lake Forest sits on their board of directors. Their board meetings are quarterly. And so if they don't have all directors in the boardroom at the same time, then their business can come to a halt. So they have gone out and asked all their contributing agencies to name an alternate to their board with approval by the agency's board, so that their business can continue should the executive director not be able to attend the meeting. And currently, Joe Mobile is the liaison between Lake Forest Parks and Recreation and North Suburban Special Rec. He is the contact for the coordinators at NSSRA and helps assign the inclusion aids into our programming. So he is well versed in their programs and their staff. And so I'm requesting that you name him as my alternate to their board of directors.
I have one question about that, Sally, if I may.
Sure.
You say alternate, but then you also said interim.
Okay, Joe's current title is interim superintendent of recreation.
So his position is an interim.
Yes. The
okay.
alternate.
Right.
I know
Fine,
it's kind of confusing. The alternate. I am the member of the NSSRA board, but I have to have an alternate.
So the motion is for an alternate, not an interim alternate.
Right.
Okay, that's all.
Yes, the motion is for an alternate to be appointed to the NSSRA board of directors.
Got it.
All right, any other questions or comments? Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And we, Sandra and Scu also voted in favor of this by email to Sally. Thank you. Well, congratulations, Joe. Next is Dance Spotlight by Sandy Ragsdale.
Okay, now if I can make this work, I'll be very, oopsie, I did it too much. Okay, back one. Thank you. I'm really honored to actually be here tonight to have the opportunity to share our history and the accomplishments of Lake Forest Dance Academy as I am actually on my way out. And Miss Valerie Gonzalez, who is sitting back there, will be the new director of Lake Forest Dance Academy, and she will be carrying on in a very, very competent and artistically wonderful manner. Dancers are the athletes of God. Albert Einstein. There are amazing quotes about dance from all of our history of philosophers and great thinkers. I'd like to ask, now I know Shannon and David both have had students in our program. Shannon has Claire and Maggie, who were in my creative dance class last year, and this year performed in the Introduction to Irish Dance in our preschool recital, which took place at Gorton in the new theater beginning of May. It was very exciting. And Carly Walker, Scu's daughter, has participated in many of our summer musicals and summer camps, Dance Me a Story camps. Ava and Olivia Douglas were both in our recital last weekend, as was Anna Brush, David's daughter. They have been with us for many years and are members of our performing arts performing companies. And I must say, Anna, Ava, and Olivia were all absolutely stunning. Anna just blew me away this weekend. She was so beautiful in our recitals. So it's our philosophy that it takes an athlete to dance, but to become a dancer, one must be an artist. And we at Lake Forest Dance Academy really care passionately about nurturing both of these accomplishments and also creating ambassadors of dedication and joy and passion for our community. Our history is a long one, and it actually spans hand in hand with the history of my career. The backstory of this, you have the official history of Lake Forest Dance Academy, but when I was 16 years old and at the high school, I had the temerity to address Fred Jackson and propose that as a high school student, I come in the summer and teach creative dance for children and modern dance for teens and adults. And that was the very first time that we had dance as part of the recreation program. We continued to have it as a summer program for years, and then Fred approached my original ballet teachers, Anita Sadala and Pirko Lawler, to establish the Lake Forest Dance Academy in 1974. When I returned from my schooling and getting my master's and my bachelor's in dance and doing some professional performing, they invited me to come join them and begin the preschool program and the modern program there here at Lake Forest Dance Academy. And I've been here ever since. So in 1998, I took over as director of Lake Forest Dance Academy. And in 2002, I asked Miss Valerie Gonzalez to establish our first performing companies. Their history has been very illustrious, and including national honors in 2008 and inviting internationally known choreographer Beth Corning to set a concert piece for our benefit performance in 2010. As part of the philosophy of dancers as a whole person, we have become the only local, I think there's one other chapter in the Chicago area, of the National Honor Society for Dance Arts, which honors student dancers who have achieved a level of both academic and professional or performing qualifications. We've also taken our dance companies to New York City twice on educational tours in 2012 and 2014. And this year, as I said, I will be retiring and Miss Valerie will be taking over. So these are just some photos of our lovely dancers that really span sort of the fun, the creativeness, the whimsical, and the exquisite classical ballet that we provide. The dancer in pink on the second from the right is Miss Anna Brush.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So here's numbers, registrations and revenues for the last 5 years. As you see, we're continuing to stay level in our registration and to actually be growing in our revenue. The dip that you see there in 2011 and 12 was when one of our former teachers established a studio in West Lake Forest. She had left us a few years prior and opened a studio in Bannockburn, and then in 2011 and 12 established her studio here in West Lake Forest. So we had just recovered from the first dip, and so we had the second dip, but we have not had a hard time regaining our foothold. So Most importantly, I do want to say that Lake Forest Dance Academy has consistently met its budget and continues to be an important source of revenue for overall programming at the Recreation Department. And we're always working to continue to seek creative ways to grow and bring our art form to more students and to the community. So to nurture and inspire the love of dance in students of all ages within all disciplines and at all levels of involvement, skill, and achievement. So we believe that dance should be many things to many people. Historically and globally, dance has long been a cultural and spiritual form of expression. It's a great exercise at its simplest and stunning art form at its most complex. As such, we look at our Lake Forest Dance Academy dancers in many lights, realizing that they do not all dance to the same rhythm, so to speak. We take seriously the task of addressing the whole child, not just teaching the dancer. Neuroscience has finally caught up with what we know as dancers, how important the brain-body connection is and how important the movement patterns are to developing brain patterns and to reforming brain patterns later in life. It's a very exciting time for us as dancers who have been saying this all along, and science is confirming how important this is for all people. So we teach not only dance as a discipline, but woven into that and everything that we do at Lake Forest Dance Academy is the teaching of ethics and compassion and teamwork. And these are qualities that are sorely needed in our children of today, and I feel that this is a strong part of our mission. Now, the one in the middle there with the big split leap, if Miss Sandra Douglas was here, she would be laughing because that's little Ava. Our classes range from preschool through these exquisite dancers in our companies, through teachers, teachers, yes, we do have a qualified teacher of teachers on our staff who is accredited by the Cicchetti Council of America to teach teachers, which is a high accomplishment. We also have students with disabilities, ADA students. I had one student who graduated a few years ago who studied with me from when she first was 4 years old, and I had to really carry her through class as we moved, all the way through graduation of high school, where she performed a solo recital piece on her graduation. And she's gone on to school and into the community in Florida, and she is taking dance and continuing in her career. This year we also had 2 other ADA students perform in our recitals this year, and they both performed in multiple classes. I think they both were in 2 different dances, right alongside all of our other students. We're very much a part of inclusion as we can do this and offer this. So we offer a lot, and there's a whole list, and we don't need to go through it all, but it just gives you sort of an overview of the depth of our programming and the levels that we have. Baby dance through high school and adults and seniors. Our performance companies developed out of the desire of our more enthusiastic participants to have the opportunity to utilize their growing dance skills in more performance opportunities and to participate in the growing world of dance competitions, as well as community outreach. And we have 4 companies now. Prelude Dance Theater, established in 2002. As of this year, we started with 7 dancers in 2002, and this year we have 38 dancers in that group. Our tap performing company has grown from 10 to 20, our hip hop from 23 down to 18. As the hip hop craze sort of goes up and down, our levels in that form of dance go up and down as well. And in 2012, we established a Palm Force dance team that not only has danced in the 4th of July parade in Lake Bluff and Lake Forest Day parade, but also performs at our rec center basketball games. So, and this exquisite picture is our performing company in their annual benefit this year in March, showing some of that elegance of movement. And it all comes because of our teachers. We have an amazing staff. 3 of us have our Masters of Arts in Fine Arts. 15 of the faculty have Bachelor of Arts degrees in dance. The certification from the Royal Academy of Dance, Chicago Association of Dance Masters, Dance Educators of America, and the Cicchetti Council of America. The NDEO is the National Dance Education Organization, and they are the ones that sponsor the National Honor Society. Our dancers, our teachers have worked in over 65 professional dance companies in 11 different countries. Choreographers and guest instructors at competitions, judges at national and international conventions and organizations. So they are bringing all of this experience to our students. Miss Kim Steibel is a former Radio City Music Hall Rockette. We've had a Chicago Bull Lovable. We've had Big Ten cheerleaders, a Royal Caribbean Celebrity Cruise performers. That one there I didn't realize got slipped in. Yes, I was Madonna's college dance teacher, and she was my understudy in a guest artist piece. And believe me, when she was my understudy, I was watching my back. Ms. Veronica is a world medal holder in Irish dance, and the one that was left off of this list is Miss Amy Rose, who was a soloist with the American Ballet Theater, and they are actually celebrating their 75th anniversary in New York this coming weekend. She's going back there to be honored with them, and was backstage helping all of our little ladies last weekend. So we have quite a illustrious group of dance teachers and choreographers. I am teaching at Lake Forest College. Valerie is teaching at Carthage College. We have had people as guest artists at Northwestern University. So there we are. And those are our current teachers. Let's see where I am. And this is a wonderful quote from Claire Frankson, who is one of our graduating students. I had Claire when she was 2 years old in my dance play class, and she performed her senior solo this past weekend in the recital, and these are her words. Lake Forest Dance Academy is my chosen family. It means giving back to the community with the arts and volunteer work. It's a place that you can smile and cry and just live on the stage and let everything go. It's my home, and it's where my heart is. And that's pretty special to have had her put that into words for us. So she will join the ranks of our graduates, and the experiences of our people involved in the program, our teaching assistants. We've had people perform in Joffrey's Nutcracker Ballet, in the Moscow Ballet Nutcracker. We have dancers who are on the Lake Forest High School Pom team and cheerleaders. Our lead in the musical theater production this spring, was one of our award-winning dancers, definitely a triple threat, Miss Morgan Cohen. And lots of athletes also take their dance classes with us. Our graduates have gone on to dance in lots of different colleges, including UCLA, and making majors and minors in dance. One of my very dearest to my heart dancers has gotten her degree in dance therapy and is earning her living as that. And she actually, last year when she got married, invited me to come and choreograph her father-daughter dance for her wedding, which was wonderful. We've performed in Chicago's Athenaeum Theater. We've had dancers who have gone on to natural tours and Broadway musicals, college dance teachers, and thousands of dance lovers for life. And of course, we couldn't do it without our support. And our support system is not only the Recreation Center and their staff, which makes an amazing difference in being able to do what we love, which is to teach and to work with the dancers, and takes some of the burden of being a sole owner of a dance studio off of our shoulders, so we can really do what we do best. But we also have a dance commission, volunteer group. Used to meet monthly. This year, it combined with the parent board, the company parent board. And they are an amazing support group who helps us in so many different ways to give selflessly of their time and their effort to help things run smoothly for us. One of the ways that they help us, and ways that our children have a bigger and greater experience, is in our extensive outreach program. You can see that we've raised money over the years for quite a few very important organizations, and have performed outreach concerts in a lot of different areas. And our holiday tour to the nursing homes is always a highlight of the year for the nursing homes and for us. Here we are at Westmoreland. And, oops, back one. Goals. So every organization needs to have goals to continue to be healthy and developing, and these are some of our goals, continue to be our goals. And I can go through them, continue. Where's my last page of notes? They're pretty self-explanatory. Continue to provide the highest quality of classes, increase community awareness about our staff and company, enhance the outreach communication, continue to work closely with the other recreation programming in working together with them. We have a lunch program for Kinderhaven where they are, and Maggie and Claire have been picked up by their dance teachers at Kinderhaven and had lunch, and they've changed their clothes and taken them on to their dance class. It's a fun thing to be able to offer that. And we're always, of course, because dancers are about space, looking to improve our existing studio space and expand our existing studio space, because we're bursting at seams and have been for a long time. But we are working as in our shared facility and trying to create the best environment for our dancers. So finally, as I leave my baby in the very competent hands of Ms. Valerie Gonzalez, I know that LFDA will continue to nurture and inspire our dancers, not only as excellent technicians and passionate performers, but as loving, compassionate members of this community and of the world. And it's my honor to say that my life's passion has also been my career, and I owe that to the City of Lake Forest and to the Recreation Department and to Fred Jackson and to Sally Swarthout, especially, to fulfill my dream and to create a legacy of love and dance for so many young people over the years. So, Lake Forest Dance Academy will always be in my heart and will always be a part of the Recreation Center in Lake Forest. Thank you. Questions?
Questions or comments?
Yeah, Sandy, thank you. On behalf of my daughter Anna, my family, the Park and Rec Board, and the rest of the Lake Forest community. I don't think we can thank you enough. Taking young little girls and turning them into young ladies, it's just, for me, I mean, I can't imagine how big of a difference you've made in so many people's lives. So thank you for that. You will be dearly, dearly missed. It will carry on in great hands with Miss Valerie, I know, but you will be sorely missed. I just think I can't say thank you enough. But to show you that I paid attention this weekend, in the words of all of your young ladies, we love you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you, David. Thank you all.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Comments by the director?
I do have several comments this evening. I want to give you a quick update on the roof replacement at the rec center. While the roofing portion of the rec is going very well, we did have some issues with gas lines. Our gas lines run along the roof for all of our HVAC units, as well as our hot water heaters, our dryers, and such for the fitness center. When the project moved over to the fitness center, they realized that they needed to lift the gas lines in order to fit the new roofing underneath them. So they had to disconnect those gas lines, leaving us without hot water and without the dryers in the fitness center and the private locker rooms. We did have hot water in the public rooms, and so our members were able to use the public rooms, locker rooms for showering, but they were also offered the opportunity to go to Lake Bluff and utilize their facility as well. And I do have to thank Lake Bluff Park District for offering that up to our members of our fitness center and working with us. As of today, we did have the plumber come in, and they are going to set some temporary gas lines, which hopefully by the end of the day tomorrow will put us back on schedule for hot water, dryers, and most importantly, the HVAC, so we will have heat when we need it over these cooler days, and air conditioning and such should we get warmer. So hopefully those temporary lines will be in place until the project is complete. There will only be a minimal disruption when they have to actually shift over to the permanent lines. That being said, the roof project as a whole is still on schedule and is expected to be completed by mid-June. I wanted to mention that we have an adult slow pitch softball league starting. Men's will meet Tuesdays or Thursdays, beginning May 26th from 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. at Deer Path Park, and registration of teams is ongoing. Again, we will be offering the same slow pitch league for the co-ed group on Wednesdays and Fridays. Coming up in June, the first Friday in June is the Fred Jackson Not Yet Memorial Annual Golf Outing. And those are Fred's words, I might add. We do have availability for foursomes, so please, if you're interested in playing with us, it's a scramble. On June 5th, please stop by the Recreation Department and submit a registration form with your foursome. Our check-in and lunch is at 11:30. We do a mega putt at 12:15, and then we do a shotgun start at 12:30. It's a really fun, great event that helps the Lake Forest Parks and Recreation Foundation raise funds to support our programming and our parks. As Chuck mentioned earlier today, June 14th is the grand reopening of the Forest Park. It is going to be a great event with a lot of activities going on in the park, and again, it is from 3 to 5 p.m. and I just wanted to reiterate that it would be a lovely way to spend that afternoon of Father's Day down in that fabulous new renovated park. It's beautiful. Summer camps begin June 15th. We still have registration ongoing in several of our camps. It's a great way to play through the summer, and I suggest that if you are looking for an opportunity for your child to engage in activities throughout the summer, to please take a look at our brochure online or at the rec center and register for a camp. Concerts in the Square begin June 18th. They are held right here in Market Square on Thursday evenings from 6:30 to 8:30. Our first band up is Our Gang, which is a classic R&B and soul music, followed by Expo 76 on June 25th. We are going to have a concert the Thursday before the 4th of July. Traditionally, we don't hold a concert, but we decided to host this year and keep with the country theme, which is represented with the 4th of July Festival and fireworks programming this year. So you'll see that we go every Thursday until July 30th. It's a great, fun way to spend a delightful evening, so I encourage you to join us in the square. 4th of July obviously, 4th of July is being held at Deer Path Park. It is sponsored by Lake Forest Festival, Lake Forest Parks and Recreation Foundation. It is their major fundraiser to support our programs and our facilities. This year's entertainment, the opening act is Six String Crossing, which is a country band, followed by Winona Judd and the Big Noise at 8 o'clock. Again, we're going with the country theme this year. Ticket prices for general admission have gone up by $5, but VIP parking and VIP passes are remaining the same. Regular parking passes are $25, and they are being sold the day of. If you should have any questions about registration or anything that has to deal with the event, you can certainly call the Recreation Center, and we will provide answers. Okay, my next and last thing is some words about Sandy Ragsdale. And whereas she may have taken a lot of what I was going to say, Sandy, I did want to reiterate some things. You know, Sandy did start at the age of 16, and there are beautiful photos of you hosting that very first class right over here at the old fire station. And it's an amazing thing that she could talk Fred Jackson, and he had the foresight to allow her to begin those classes. She grew, she went to college, she was a professional in the professional companies, and then she came home to Lake Forest Dance. And she started teaching, and she continued to teach with dedication and commitment prior to starting her family. And I mean that literally, because she did go into labor while teaching class. She mentioned that we had a split off, but what she did not mention is that there were actually 2 split offs in the course of Sandy's reign with the Dance Academy. And not only did she maintain the quality of our programming through those trying times, she pushed the Academy to a level of excellence that we enjoy now. She never let it stop her. She continued the dream, not only for the Dance Academy, but for all those dancers who came to participate and stay strong with her. You know, Sandy is not just the Dance Academy director. She's an important member of our Parks and Recreation team, and she is somebody who willingly steps up to the plate anytime we need support with an event or within a classroom or in an emergency. We know Sandy is there, and so she's a huge part of our family, and she's utilized her creative talents at our special events. She's been a pirate, she's been a witch, she's been a storyteller. She's lent a hand to the 4th of July festivities, which happens to be her anniversary, and she gives it to us. And she helps with our Lake Forest Day Fun Run and parade floats. She's even organized and participated in our city employee picnic, all while wearing a tutu and fireman boots. She brings her own special kind of magic to all of our activities and events. And we wish you nothing but the best in your retirement. And we look forward to seeing you back in the classroom in the fall, and are counting on it. And in the words of the girls this weekend, we love you, Miss Sandy.
Any comments from?
being here because it introduced me to many dancers of different ages and from different schools who I would now consider to be my best friends.
Dancing at LFDA lets me be myself and I'm able to do what I love.
Every day I come to LFDA, it makes me a better person and teaches me who I am.
Because I meet new friends and it gives me the chance to challenge myself and make me a better dancer.
Dancing at LFDA gives me this amazing double life away from school and drama and lets me be myself, which I love.
LFDA has given me a chance to show the world what I like to do most.
And I could be with my friends and everyone supports me.
LFDA has given me the best memories.
I feel like I'm a part of something special at LFDA. And it lets me explore my passion. It helps me build my morals and values. LFDA is my home away from home and has helped me to find balance in my life.
I get to break out of my shell and be more confident about myself at LFDA. Thank you, Miss Sandy. We love you.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thanks. Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Muchas gracias!
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sandy. Thanks, Miss Sandy. Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Miss Sandy. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sandy. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sandy.
You're welcome.
Any comments from board members? Could I have a motion to adjourn if we have no other business?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.